What's going on? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Can we get a quick thumbs up that you can hear us? Just because we stream differently this way and I don't have any indication of audio.
Yes, so we get a little nervous.
So welcome to starting of week 3.
How exciting.
Of the No Joke Challenge.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews and we talk about various keto topics. And then every Monday, we sit down on the couch for Keto on the Couch. We just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
I love Zoe. She just she typed thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
She's probably like me. I have no idea how to do emojis.
Really?
I do not.
I just think that she's like me in the fact that do you type out everything on a text? Or do you or if you're saying like do you say letter U,
no,
letter R?
I can't stand that.
I can't stand that.
For the most part, I cannot stand like one time I'll put RU.
Yeah.
Like just because, but 9 out of 10 times, if I ever send you a text, I can almost guarantee you, Chris knows this, almost guarantee you there is a typo or something in there because 99 out of 100 of my texts are dictated and Siri doesn't know how to write what I'm saying.
No.
And I usually just dictate it, hit send, and don't read it.
Well, my mom dictates her texts.
Right.
But she really, truly thinks it's a dictaphone, that it's absolutely picking up every single nuance. And so you'll get a paragraph, but sometimes it's like, I can't understand a word it's saying. It's like, go to the store, Jack and Jill went up the hill, like craziness.
So welcome to week 3. It's been Joe only exists as speech to text. Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to week 3. We're really excited. It's been going great here.
I feel so stinking accomplished. Like my workout music is becoming it's almost like rage music at this point because it's just like can't stop, won't stop. And
you've been doing awesome.
I love it. In fact, it's usually now becoming like a morning exercise and then an evening exercise, which I thought I'm never going to be that lady.
Well, I got my battery from Rachel did her whole exercise workout routine yesterday, and the battery came from my bicycle, which it turns out there was nothing wrong with the other battery. We didn't know that you actually had to have the key in because on Rachel's bicycle, the key just locks it into the bicycle. But on my bicycle, evidently, the key locks it in and you have to turn it slightly further and leave the key in. And so, we waited all this time for nothing, but we ended up going on a 10-mile bike ride afterwards because I was so excited I got my bicycle.
It was so awesome. And now I got this stinking bright idea of challenging myself that as I walked through the park.
Wait, you're going to have to wait on this one. Let's bring Bronson on because Bronson's with his mom. And I think Bronson's mom is here.
We have such a special guest, Miss Claire, which is Bronson's mom. You're not going to believe that it is his mom and not his sister for real. You got to see this woman.
And Bronson's going to be excited to hear what you did to yourself, the challenge you gave to yourself. So let's bring Bronson on.
There they are.
What's going on?
Hi.
Okay,
I'm so anticipating this story now. What do we got?
Look at this gorgeous lady.
I know. She's gorgeous.
This is his sister.
She certainly does not look her age.
No.
But then it's Bronson.
No. But you know what? They're not just genetically blessed.
Right.
Because just they're beautiful people, but they're working hard at it.
Now, I will say that Miss Claire looks her age if Bronson was the age that I thought he was. If Bronson was like 30 years old, which would put her at 45, 50, then I can say possibly. She looks her age. But the fact is that Bronson is 50. So
it's unbelievable. But I'm feeling really good. I'm enjoying it. The first week you're like, everything is sore. Mm-hmm. Even my hair was sore. My hair follicles were sore. And now I'm like getting used to it. And I was going through and I thought, you know what? The next time I go on my walk, every time I pass a park bench, I'm going to do 10 lunges, squats. So I was great. that stinking park is
She didn't realize how many benches there are in our local park.
accommodating to sitting down that I was like, but once I'm in it, once I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Okay, so we took a ride through the park yesterday because I got the
Crawled down.
bicycle and I decided that like I said, let's just take a long ride, test this thing out, see how it does. And we counted how many benches she actually did squats at. And it was,
I did over 200 squats.
Oh my gosh.
That was ridiculous.
Wow.
so she walked 5 miles, but every time she passed the park bench, she had to drop and do 10 squats.
I had to circle to sit down today a little bit. Like it was crazy.
That's amazing.
Can you tell us a little bit about this lovely lady sitting next to you?
Yes.
She's an animal. You get her in the gym and just watch out. That's all I got to say, right? No, I mean, it's crazy to think that we're here having this conversation. We're on a podcast on the internet with people watching, talking about fitness, right? Because you had said something just a second ago, Rachel, when we were talking before about, you never thought you would be that person working out twice or working out at all consistently or even wanting to work out.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's, you can attest to.
Yep. That was not my plan.
She got started because I opened a gym and she wanted to support me. She had no idea that she was actually going to like it and keep doing it.
Right.
Such an awesome mom.
It grows on you.
But that's like whatever the business is for the kid, like you want to be the first customer and like and help your kid. But that is so stinking awesome. So it's not that Miss Claire does not already have a totally stacked and busy life and couldn't have every single excuse in the world not to get started doing this, because number one, you're a principal and also I'm sure filling in as a teacher when it's called for. So that is a huge full-time job that is like, my mom was a teacher, and so she would always say like, yeah, I love it when people say, well, you've got the summers off. I think we've all learned from this season that like we need to appreciate everybody that is our teachers and principals right now, right?
Yep.
But very busy life. And it wasn't something that you've done your entire life. So to get started now, it felt like you had every excuse in the world not to do it.
Right.
And there's also I think when you first got started, it was more a confidence thing of not wanting to be around other people.
Yep.
Like it was, I'm not going to do a class. I don't want to work out in a place where there's other people. So we actually just did one-on-one for a few months, several months. And then I talked her into actually trying some classes. And then what surprised you about that?
The biggest surprise about that was I found out I enjoyed working out with a bunch of other people. Which I never would have expected at all.
Yeah, because sometimes we're a little bit self-conscious, Yeah. And honestly, I think I'm starting to learn that doing things and letting people know what my health goals are and even exercising around them, it's actually easier to do that than do it in front of the mirror, because I'm a much harsher critic of myself than the other people. In fact, have you noticed that people actually cheer you on when you're trying to lift or do?
Yes. And that was one of the things that, it was odd. In CrossFit in particular, this seems to be a phenomenon. The last person gets all the cheering. Oh. And so even though you're feeling like I'm slower than everyone and I'm the last person getting finished, and that's a little bit, you're self-conscious about that, but everybody is so encouraging, saying, you can do it. You can do it. Keep going. And so when you want to stop, you dare not.
Right.
Because they're all saying, you can do it.
Right. That's one of the things that I loved when I was going to CrossFit is because I don't like to work out at home because I don't get as motivated. I mean, I'm doing it, but I like to do it like when Rachel walks in or when I would go to a CrossFit, because I felt like they kept me going. People kept me going. They pushed me, and that's the one thing I liked about the CrossFit community was that everybody was encouraging. Now, it could be the gym that I was at because I've never been to another one. This was owned by a friend of ours, and we were only paying $65 to attend there as opposed to the $150 that most CrossFits are. But I love that because it kept me motivated, when people would sit there and encourage you and even help you when you were struggling with something.
I think that's what's been the great motivator for me in this, because I had never done like a CrossFit.
So Chris
before.
said that, we're mom's, her audio keeps going out. He said, put her towards the center of the camera. The microphone's thinking she's background noise. So
Well, that's
what
sad.
it's cutting your voice off because you have a higher voice and it thinks you're part of the background. So you must have a limiter or something in there.
We'll try that. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Oh,
That's a good picture. Like, can we screenshot that picture right
there? Have you guys always had a very close relationship?
No.
Let's be blunt.
It's been on and off, but I mean, there's that time when every kid kind of has to get out and kind of figure themselves and things out, and then we come back.
Aw. As a mom of 3 boys, I really like hearing that full circle explanation. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
That's really good.
So you guys, if you have any questions or anything, you can pose them in, put them into the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them. Anything new going on, Bronson?
Well, I did have a question.
Okay.
What is something that you would say, Bronson, to somebody who may be getting into this later in life, and they may have the belief system that if I was never athletic in my 20s or 30s, I'm probably too late to get started now, and I won't be able to learn the moves. I won't be able to develop any kind of coordination. I'm past my prime.
Right.
You're probably right if you're talking about trying to be a superstar. Right? We're not talking about that. The thing that everyone needs to keep in mind is it's about your health, and you can always do something to improve your health. We're never going to be as healthy as we could possibly be. It's just not possible. Right? Mm-hmm. You can do it's a balance between lifestyle and the what you're willing to put into it. Right? So I personally don't know anybody who's willing to put 100% of their mind, body, and soul into just being healthy and completely put everything else to the side. So outside of that, you've got to enjoy your life, but you can always do something to improve your health. It doesn't have to be drastic. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It can be like we've talked about before. Just get up and, don't go to your mailbox once. Go to it 20 times. Don't stay on the couch. Get up and walk around your house. Get a standing desk instead of sitting at your desk. There's so many little things that you can do. Carry your bags from the grocery store to your car. Don't use a cart. So, I mean, we could probably ramble off all kinds of little things you can make changes with every day, but it's just about, what are you willing to do that's a little bit more than you're doing now? That's as far down the road as you have to look.
Right.
And did you have a question?
So Chris pointed out, so before it disappears, somebody asked a question early on, and Zoe wanted to know, with the increased protein, does the body store it as fat if you don't work out?
No.
That's
plain and simple.
That's good news.
So for new people, because I did notice a couple of people who said they just started this week.
Welcome.
You want to kind of really quickly just touch on why? No?
Yeah. So you can never say it enough times, right? The body does not use protein for fuel unless every other fuel source is not there. So your body's going to use it to build muscle, to repair tissue, to help you grow and recover from stress and effort. If you aren't working out and you're still increasing your protein, you're probably fine, because 90% of people don't get enough protein whether they're working out or not anyways. So the working out is just giving your body more things to do with the protein. It's already got enough to do, so you're probably fine as it is.
Okay. So good question with Mom here. How much protein does Mom eat?
Mom works hard to try to get up to 100 grams.
Okay, and I'm asking because so many people they're like, I'm 60 grams. I've seen people in our Facebook group and other groups saying like, I don't want to exceed 60 grams because my glucose is going to go up if I go over 60 grams of protein.
Yeah.
But no, my lean mass is around there, and so I'm trying to do the 1-to-1 thing.
Awesome.
And what are some of your go-to proteins?
Hamburger, steak. I like steak.
Yeah.
She's so cute too. Like she's just so like petite and adorable. It's like steak. I like steak.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I eat fish. I eat pork and fish and ham and I eat all kinds of meat.
So Blue Dove, I'm thinking this may be for Miss Claire. It says, do you have pain when you exercise, like in your hips and your knees?
I don't anymore, but I will tell you that I have had issues with my hip. I apparently have what the doctor said was shredded cartilage in my hip, and they couldn't really do anything about it, and some kind of impingement in my shoulder. But working out has actually helped that.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And so I don't really have any pain in any of those places. The other day I was like, which was my bad hip? I can't remember.
Oh, that's talk about awesome. A non-scale victory is like, can't remember which one is the bad one. That is awesome.
And for anybody wondering, like most of the time when you have pain, unless you have actual structural damage, and even in her case, she has structural damage, getting stronger is like, it's like the Band-Aid for everything. Mm-hmm. Like you can have all sorts of issues, but if you increase your strength, your muscles can take the stress off of your joints, off of your ligaments, right? That's part of what they're there for. So the stronger you get, the more muscle you have, the less you're going to hurt in general.
And how do you feel, Miss Claire, like during the day, as far as like your energy level to be able to accomplish everything you want to in a day now versus 5 or 6 years ago before you got started?
It's really hard to remember. I am 67, so it's hard to remember. Several years ago, I don't feel like I lack in energy, though. I tend to sleep really well, and I'm the kind of person that just I work. I do what I need to do, and I don't tend to have a lot of fatigue.
Yeah. She's also carnivore too. I don't know if we talked about that. She's not eating keto. She's
I'm pretty much carnivore, which was new also.
So Emily wants to know, when you're doing, this is probably for you, Bronson, when doing home weights and kettlebells, how do you prevent getting blisters on your hands?
You worship them.
Develop calluses.
No, it's going to happen. So actually, you know what? I think I may have, or I can find or make a video on how to grab so that you have less of a chance to get blisters, but you're really not going to completely avoid them. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. What you can do is you can order, there's 2 different types of devices you can order online. One's called a callus shaver, and it's literally like a shaver that you would shave your face with, but it's designed to do calluses instead. The other one, without cutting yourself, like it's designed so you're not going to cut yourself or go too deep. And then the other one is they have callus, like I guess like an emery board, like a little hand stick thing that's got teeth that you can kind of shave them down. So if you feel like they're getting to be too much, you can kind of, or just a pumice stone in the shower. Just get a pumice stone.
Can I use that on my permanent callus for my ring?
Yeah. Joe, I totally want to get to the point where I have to shave down my calluses. Like I'm She-Ra. That is awesome.
There you go.
Ludwig wants to know.
Real quick. Somebody said something about gloves. You can use gloves. Absolutely. The difference is, and just something to think about when you're using gloves, it's actually making your grip less strong. So it's not going to give you calluses, but gloves actually make it harder to grip. So just something to keep in mind.
Okay.
Because you're separating your feeling. You can't feel the weight as much, so that tactile response isn't there. right?
Oh.
It's also technically making whatever you're grabbing thicker because
I
it's
don't-
adding a layer into
Right.
the grip. So it's harder
Right.
to grip things with that are thicker.
So Luther said lunges, I cannot get my back knee to the floor. Is it okay to go as low as I can?
Bingo.
Awesome.
Okay.
And if you want, you can, if you have a pad or a pillow or some kind of mat or something, if you want to put that under your knee, so that way you can actually get the feel of putting your all your weight down instead of holding it, you can do that. Sure.
So it's funny that this one just came up because I was driving home from Whole Foods and watching your video that you put up earlier today. And he said, Jennifer said, I'm learning so much from Bronson. I'm even joining his live on Tuesday evenings, and I've quit drinking alcohol since I learned that it takes priority over everything else. And I was literally on my way home from Whole Foods watching your alcohol video about how you used to drink all the bourbon. And
Yes.
like, and how much weight did you lose in 21 days after
Like
stopping
9 or 10 pounds.
bourbons a week?
10 pounds in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Just from quitting bourbon.
Just
That's
from quitting bourbon.
amazing.
Yep.
So Maitreya said, let's see, I feel so extreme. I ate 150 grams of protein most days. Meat bars are so convenient while cycling, though. I don't even have to stop to eat them.
How awesome is that?
So I actually just, when I was in Whole Foods, I picked up, I love Epic bars, but you have to be careful with those Epic meat bars because some of them have sugar, some of them don't. And they have
Some
a
of them
venison.
have like cranberries and stuff. Or other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. The venison one, though, is one carb with no sugar. And the carb is coming from like the spices and stuff. And they had a new chicken sriracha one that didn't have any sugar. So I'm excited to try those because those are really good and they're using good, clean meats with them. Or you could make your own.
Yeah.
You know, you can make your own jerkies and stuff. Let's see. Let's see. So I guess.
Go ahead.
Maria said, I'm not a big fan of red meat. Been on chicken, pork, and salmon. In-N-Out was my hamburger go-to. So there's nothing wrong with chicken, pork, and salmon.
Yeah, no.
We're actually going to be having. I'm going to make some homemade gyro meat when this is over. I'm going to do half lamb and half ground beef. Mix it up, add the spice in there. Because Rachel's not a huge lamb eater, but today's chopped challenge is lamb.
It's lamb day. So is there any exercises that you do not look forward to in a week?
I don't prefer the cardio exercises. I much prefer the weightlifting.
That is so cool.
So speaking
Isn't that cool? I love it.
So speaking of cardio, you sent me a video.
Yeah.
So let's see.
When was this? I don't remember when this was. A few years ago.
So I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to see if I'm going to leave it on with you guys up.
There we go. So this was at my gym before I sold it.
We're going to go
doing a workout. And the workout we're doing here is called Death by Burpees. Basically, you do one burpee a minute every minute, and then you add a burpee every minute. So the minute one, you do one burpee, minute two, you do two, and you just keep going until you can't go anymore.
Wow. Like, I challenge you to that, Rachel.
Oh my God. With the kids, I mean, it is so cool to watch, but you almost want to like just start crying that this is mother and son side by side doing this. And like, oh my gosh.
All I know is her form on a burpee is better than mine.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's just nice to know that like your parent is doing all that they can do to stick around for you. Mm-hmm. Like that is so awesome. How you've mentioned this last week, but just in case for some of the people, we're getting a lot of messages of people saying this is their first live stream that they've been here. As her son, how do you feel knowing your mom is prioritizing her health like this?
Well, it's good on a number of levels. One, knowing that she's never done it and now it's something that she loves. So knowing that she's got something that she loves to do is really cool, right? Anybody that is important to you, you want them to have something that's there. So that's good to know. It's good to know that she's physically capable, that as she gets older, I don't have to worry about things, happening to her. I'm not concerned with balance and her fall and her risk of falling. Like fall risk, like I don't even worry about it. Walking upstairs, don't even worry about it. You know, like she said when we were talking before, if she's got to shovel her driveway because it snowed, I'm like, hey, get a good workout in, have a blast. No, I'll go help if she asks me to. But but she can handle herself, and that's really good to know.
Mm-hmm. So Miriam has put Chris in timeout for this comment. What if I coat my hands in super glue? Will that prevent calluses?
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Okay, so Carmen actually has a good point for someone who has said something about lunges. She said the yoga block to land on your knee during lunges will still give you resistance, but it's a gentler resistance.
Yes, that'll work. Absolutely.
So Joy wants to know, so we can touch on it, because it is a serious subject, especially with people who are trying to, like, you know, increase their muscle right now, right, and lose some weight. As how much were you drinking that you lost?
Before, I was drinking 3 to 4 glasses a week. So 3 or 4 nights a week, I'd come home and have a glass.
Wow.
So
it wasn't even that much. It's not like I was coming home and having a 6-pack every night. You know what I mean?
Right. It wasn't like you were going on a bender every night.
Right.
So I encourage you guys to go take a look at that video. It's on your regular YouTube channel. It just shows up in my feed because I'm subscribed. Is it on the Apex channel?
I actually today, so I have my group that I do stuff in every Tuesday. Today, I actually just ripped all the last 2 weeks of weekly videos and put them on my YouTube channel. So
that's the one that I was watching it on YouTube. So
yeah, it should be there.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
We can list those.
That's crazy because I just put those up 2 hours ago.
I was in the car when you put it up. So I'm copying.
Yeah,
let's go over there.
Put that right into
I'm going to put it right in here. So this is a great video.
Yeah, if you aren't already subscribed to Bronson's channel, what are you doing with your life?
Peggy said, I love cardio, but I can't get myself to do strength training.
So how can you encourage yourself to do more strength training?
Yeah, I mean, we could dig into that. Why do you love cardio? What do you think it's doing for you? What's the mindset kind of that goes into that? Most people that love cardio because they feel like they're burning fat, or they're doing something that we've been told we're supposed to be doing. So the more you can educate yourself on what strength training is actually doing for you versus what cardio is actually doing for you, you might realize that you're going to get more out of strength training. And the cool thing is, if you do a good program, if you follow a good program, you can do strength training and cardio at the same time.
Yeah. Now, again, we're not saying anything is wrong with cardio. Cardio is awesome for your health and for your heart and for your lungs and for breathing, but it's not necessarily going to help you lose. I mean, I love you get on these machines right now, like you burn 300 calories, but what happens if I don't do it tomorrow?
Right.
As opposed to strength training, that muscle is going to just increase everything all along. So when you're doing nothing, you're actually burning more calories.
Well, it's very concentrated. Like every 10 minutes of strength training, you feel like, I mean, you're getting in a lot. Whereas like you could,
right.
I can walk from here to Bronson's house and, and not feel like I'm getting
so Maitreya said, I've been doing a training course with Marissa Axel Custom for cycling performance improvement for menopausal women. And her research is showing that strength training is the key for women especially over 40.
You spoke a little bit about osteoporosis before before we got on here, Miss Claire. Was that something that was a concern to you?
Yes, because my bone density was getting less and less over the years. And then when they finally said, you actually officially have osteoporosis, your fracture risk is up, I realized that I had to do something. And so strength training, I had looked at that same research kind of thing. Strength training is what you have to do to put that pressure on your bones so that they will stay dense. And so that's really what got me started.
That's amazing because it's probably different than what we're thinking. We're thinking like, oh my goodness, if I have osteoporosis, I'm that much more fragile and then need to avoid any strength training because I don't want to lose, I don't want to take a chance on breaking the bones that I have. But that's really a fallacy. Like you're better off to actually get into strength training.
Well, Teresa actually has a question on the same thing here. Bronson says, with osteoporosis, is it safe to do hollow rocks?
I don't see any reason why not. Why it wouldn't be. I don't know to what level you have. If you're at the level where if you take a step, you could break a leg. But for the most part, if someone is, just been diagnosed or diagnosed with osteoporosis, there's got to be some level of physical activity that you do. Hollow rocks actually are pretty low intensity. So it's not like you're putting a lot of pressure on something that may break. But I think if anybody has a medical concern that's based on that, they shouldn't do anything without a trainer, without a coach, without talking to somebody. Ideally, having someone there watching them do it, something like that. So,
and I would say
we are not doctors or nurses or health professionals. This is just advice based on what we've done and experimented with ourselves and things that we've learned from reading and stuff like that.
But if you're wanting to do like more moving forward and have an intense workout and really have a coach that's on your side and also understands the keto and carnivore lifestyle, Bronson's your guy.
Right.
You're already, we've already established a relationship with him, and he's going to answer your questions. He's going to be with you every step of the way. So if you're thinking, hey, I like what's happening and I want to see more momentum, message him, let him know, because he is a coach, so he can help you, and he has amazing programs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Maria said, started keto last Tuesday, and no joke, on Monday, I'm down 8 pounds. No, it must be water, but I'm sticking to it. You know what's awesome, though? I mean, it's not all water. I mean, yes, it's probably a lot of water, but that's what's cool about keto when you get that first couple week of like that flush out of 8 to 10 pounds. It makes you keep going. You're like, oh, yes, this works. It just understand when it gets slower that it was water, but you're doing something with your body. You're working, you're manipulating your body. You're burning off of fat. So,
but showing that you're doing something. Yeah.
I also like the mind clear out. Once I had that flush of garbage out of my brain, and I felt like I could think clearer. And as your body changes over to be fueled on the fat, you feel more in control of even your eating choices. Like I'm never, again, letting my food dictate when I eat. I like that. I like not having that hangriness.
Right. Jessica wants to know, when I'm doing my hollow rocks, it feels like I'm rolling on my bones and it hurts. Padding isn't helping. Am I doing them wrong?
I don't think you're doing them wrong. That could just be, I feel that feels to me like just a body structure thing. If it hurts when you do something and you feel like it's not working for you, then find something different to do. So there's options you can do for hollow rocks. You can do knee touches. You can do toe touches, right, where you lay down and just put your feet in the air and try to touch your toes. So there's other things you can do where you're not rocking back and forth. You can do a hold where you can get in the hollow rock position and then just try to hold that position. So you're not rocking, but you just hold that position for 10, 20, 30 seconds.
So when we do hollow rocks, what muscles are we working?
That is your anterior core. That's what we call your anterior core. So all of the muscles on the front side of your body.
Cool. I think that's.
And what have you seen as a difference over these last 5 years as far as like how much muscle that you've gained?
Are you talking about Miss Claire?
Yeah, it's Miss Claire.
Yeah. I have not done a in-body scan real recently. I can tell you, aside from the muscle, I no longer have osteoporosis in my spine.
Wow.
Which is incredible. And so I am now in the normal range in that regard. So I'm really happy about that. Fracture risk way down. And my muscle mass has certainly increased. I'm not a big person. You can tell I'm not a big person. So I didn't have a lot of weight to lose. But the thing that Bronson will tell you and that I experienced was that the fact that you look thinner does not mean you are not fat.
That is so true.
Right.
And so I found that I was skinny fat and I had more fat than I needed to have, should have had. And so eating carnivore, actually working out helped to some degree. But I got to a point where I was like, I'm working really hard and my body fat's not really moving here. And so switching over to carnivore made a huge difference in that body composition change.
Wow.
What has been the response of coworkers and people that you've known for a long time?
People are funny. They're like, wow, I couldn't do that.
It's they almost lead with something that like a negative for themselves, but it's like, well, if you say it like that, you can't. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
Like you probably never will if like never is what we lead with.
Yep. Oh, there's a question.
Do you miss vegetables?
No.
It's funny that came up because I was actually in the store doing grocery shopping today, and the store I go to is Sprouts. They have all the meat on the outside, and
Yes.
I'm walking around the meat and then going to get my eggs and then going to get, and it's like I'm walking around 89-90% of the store. That's all vegetables, and I'm like, this is such a waste of space.
Do you know how much meat we can fit in here?
Right. Seriously.
Yeah, it's funny because we do say walk the outer aisle, right?
Yep.
If you do not need a jacket to go grocery shopping, you're doing it wrong.
So I just realized, if you don't mind, we take one quick break here. We need to pick the winner
Yeah.
for giving away a bag or one product from Equip. So
Yes.
let's just go over and do that real quick.
Yeah, and I saw somebody ask about
participating.
protein powder.
Okay. So while I'm
we
doing
we both like Equip a lot.
yeah. Okay. So let's see. We have anything goes.
All right.
120 comments.
Let's see who's gonna win it.
Shauna!
Hey, yeah, Shauna.
Shauna, do us a favor and send us an email at joe@twocrazyketos.com and send me what you want. Pick one product from Equip so you can go on their website. I love their protein powders. By the way, they did tell me the vanilla was back in stock. At least I got that email 3 days ago.
Oh my gosh. I waited a month to get my my package just came in today.
So,
but they were nice. They were
loving
nice. They gave me an extra bag.
Yeah.
So Marie has a question right there.
Okay.
From Miss Claire up at the top right there.
Marie.
Keep going. Right there. Oop.
Oh, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Marie said only meat. You're not eating anything else.
No, I eat eggs.
Okay.
I eat dairy. So I eat dairy. Some carnivore people don't eat dairy, but I do in the sense that I use butter and heavy cream and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Barry's thing of like if dairy, it comes from an animal.
Yeah.
That's carnivore.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, that was a good one from Joy.
Joy has a question for you. It
Not
says,
a question. It was just a cute comment.
I'm really getting tired of throwing away vegetables I haven't used in a time. Carnivore is good for my budget. No kidding. I can't tell you how many times we have bought vegetables and we don't really eat much vegetables anymore. Like once in a blue moon, I'm just like, hey, I'd love some cauliflower rice. Or, if we go out to Texas Roadhouse, you know what? I'm going to have some broccoli tonight. But it's very rare. Like, I think the extent of our vegetables is, for the most part, putting a little bit of celery in our chicken salad, like today, just to give that little bit of crunch. But I can't tell you how many times we buy vegetables and then they just sit there and go bad. Like Rachel I bought like a pack of peppers at Sam's Club because sometimes you want to have like chopped up peppers in your ground beef, just like a half a pepper for both of us. And like we use one and then you don't use it for 3 weeks because it just goes bad. So yeah, you can save a lot of money by not buying vegetables. Just
like go right directly to the produce manager and just give them $20.
Yeah.
Just cut out the middleman. I don't have to clean out the fridge.
Yeah, Lynn said she doesn't miss vegetables at all.
Oh, Shauna said, oh my gosh, I was just looking at their vanilla. That's awesome.
Yes, so Shauna, just send me all of your information. The email, if you have an account with them, let me know what email address it's under. And I will send it off to him, and Dave will send it to you.
Oh, Chow CEO
Let me see if I can find it.
It's a good one. How do you like your? I don't know how you do your protein.
Lately, I've been doing it warmed like coffee, like a hot chocolate.
Okay.
Because you're saying,
How do you like your equipped shakes? Like just water or cream or oil? So what I personally do is I generally, Bronson actually had me mix it into coffee, and that was really good. I like that, but I'm not the coffee drinker that Rachel is. Like maybe 1 cup a day. Usually it's more like a cup every other day.
Slacker.
Of course, our cup is like 24 ounces.
How many cups does Rachel do a day?
A couple of pots.
Who? What?
Yeah. We might need to have an intervention.
Down. I want to talk
about caffeine next.
I know what my next video is going to be about.
Caffeine and like how
actually she's down to less than a pot most of the time. She used to drink close to 3 pots a day.
How reducing your caffeine actually increases calluses that can get filed down. Now I'm gonna have to stop drinking coffee.
It's funny. So one time she fasted coffee. Like we did a 72-hour Redmond fast, and she decided like, I'm going to do this water only, no coffee. Yeah, that almost caused a divorce.
It was ugly.
Yeah, so now any fast she does is she fasts with, she will still drink black coffee, but she did do 30 days once of no coffee, and that really almost caused a divorce. But she decided she had to reset herself because that's where she was up to like 3 pots a day.
Yeah,
she just likes the taste, and it was black. So
it's not good.
You're pretty good about it now.
I'm getting better. One
thing. Do any decaf?
No. It's all, it's crazy. But I will say, honestly, from this challenge, I am down to 1 pot a day, which
honestly lasts. I'm throwing coffee out every morning.
Not a lot.
That's actually pretty good.
That doesn't sound like a really big reduction, but it's a huge reduction for me. Yeah. Because I really thirst for water now. I've found that the more I up my protein, the more I just want water and a lot of it. Did you find that as you upped your protein, you were thirstier?
Not particularly. I've never really enjoyed water, so I have to make myself drink it to have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's funny we're talking about water, Bron. So I accidentally fasted the other day.
Accidentally.
So I just wasn't hungry. Like it was like Saturday, Friday night into Saturday, and then I realized, or it was the Friday night into Saturday, or Saturday night into Sunday. I don't know. I realized at like 9:00 at night I hadn't eaten, and so I was like, you know what? I was like, oh, I should eat, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Oh, it was Sunday. It was all of Sunday, and Monday was brisket day. And so I decided to do a 24-hour smoke on a brisket. So I'm like, well, I just want to just go all in on the brisket. And the brisket was set to come out around 12 o'clock. So I said, okay, I'm just going to fast till tomorrow. Well, what I noticed the entire day, and I was really concerned, so it kind of aided in me fasting. I was concerned that starting Saturday night, my CGM was showing my glucose over 100. All through my night. Now, normally I'm like in my 80s to low 90s. So all through my sleep, all day long. And I'm like, and at one point at like 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, my CGM had me at a glucose of 120.
Wow.
And I'm like, what is going on? And I did not think about finger sticking at all. I'm just going by this. What is going on? And I had worked 3 lacrosse games on Saturday on an AstroTurf field in 95-degree heat. And I did some electrolytes and stuff. So I didn't think anything of it. And then coming into Monday, I'm like, it's still elevated. I ended up contacting, because with NutriSense, they give you a dietitian nurse who can evaluate things. And she's like, if you're fasting, and this is good for anybody who has a CGM, she's like, you need 30% more water if you're using a CGM, because now since the CGM is measuring the fluid in your skin, you have less of it as you're fasting, which means you have a concentrated glucose. But when I did my blood glucose, I was in the 70s.
Yeah.
But it was freaking me out that why is my glucose, it's like your glucose isn't high, it's the concentration of less water.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
That it I messaged Chris, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is am I all of a sudden becoming diabetic after 3 years of being keto?
Goodbye,
right.
Chris.
And it happened overnight.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah. So back to what you were saying. How do you like your protein, your equip? When you do
Okay, so for the most part I'm doing is I drink it in the morning on my way out the door, because I don't ever have time to cook breakfast, and I just like getting that little start of the day with the protein. So I drink 8 ounces of an almond milk usually, with about 8 ounces of water. I take a blender bottle and I put 8 ounces of water, and I fill it most of the way with water. 8 ounces of almond milk, then most of the way with water. Put a few ice cubes in there. Drop a raw egg in there, throw it in the blender with a scoop of Equip, or I use Keto Chow, depending on which one I want for the day. And sometimes both of them. Start me right off with 50 grams of protein, and I blend it up and I drink it like that. Yep. Just make sure if you're going to use raw eggs in anything that you're immediately. You're not putting a raw egg into Equip or into Keto Chow and sticking it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours.
No.
You know, that's where you get the salmonella stuff.
Do that with butter.
It makes it so much more thick and fluffy, though.
Right. Yeah. You're like, something's not right.
Blue Dove said, yes, not buying produce and facing the countdown to prepare them is so freeing. Let's see. Frozen veggies is the only ones allowed.
Blue Dove had asked something else earlier that I meant to say.
So while I look for that, Susie brings this one up. So, I mean, we talk about vegetables. I know, even though you're a carnivore, where are your feelings on fermented vegetables?
I think there's a ton of information out there about how fermented vegetables are good for your gut, just the fermentation process itself. So it breaks down and kind of makes it easier for your body to digest. It kind of takes care of a lot of the anti-nutrients and stuff like that. So if you're going to do them, I know a lot of people that recommend if you're going to do veggies, make sure they're fermented.
Okay, so I do know Rachel has to fuel all that perkiness. Bingo, actually, I noticed earlier, and we didn't get to it, was asking, do you do Keto Chow, or what do you think of Keto Chow?
So I think both of us are really more fans of Equip. It's beef based. We both like that a little bit more. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've just been using it for so long. That's kind of that's what I've gotten her to use. So that's kind of what we're used to.
And I don't really do shakes that much anyway. I'm mostly just eating the meat.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, for you, shakes, the protein powder is more like when you want to kind of.
Well, I did what Bronson told you, Joe, was put the Equip in coffee. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually not a coffee drinker. And so I did that for a while. And then I thought, it's okay. And then he mentioned that he was just doing it directly with hot water through the coffee maker. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm just making hot chocolate with a little bit of heavy cream, just directly. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So not putting the Equip in the coffee maker, but just doing hot water and then putting the Equip and the heavy cream in the shaker cup or the mixer and doing that.
Okay, so I don't know this product. Maybe you do. Joy said, Onit plant-based protein. Is it good? The label looks good, but I thought collagen counts towards my protein before all of this. Do you know? I don't know that product.
I would say that chances are any plant-based protein is not giving you what you need.
Okay.
I don't know that product specifically, but I don't know of any plant protein that's going to give you everything that you need.
Angie said, how much protein should you eat in a day? You want to touch on that? I know that's been
the whole thing. As much as you can possibly shove in your face. So I think you mentioned it earlier. We talk about the 1-to-1. If you're in the group, you see people talking about 1-to-1 all the time. Basically, the idea is that you want to take whatever your lean body mass is, or if you don't have a way to get that number, use your goal weight. You're going to eat that much in grams of protein. That's your target for the day.
Now, that's not how much the protein weighs. We're not talking about like 6 ounces of protein in grams. You're gonna take something like Chronometer or Carb Manager, and you're gonna input it. I'm eating 6 ounces of chicken, for example, or 6 ounces of prime rib, and it's going to tell you how many grams of protein are in that. That 6 ounces is also including fat and water. We're only looking at that the protein number.
You don't necessarily need to eat 150 ounces of chicken breast today.
No.
Right. And can we all encourage Maitreya to go work out?
Yes,
I was just going to put that one up. Said, what about missing workouts? This is day 2 where I just can't. I did 60 miles on the bike and I had to unload and distribute landscaping supplies. Today, I stacked a cord and planted trees. Okay, yeah. I know what you're saying, but here's what I'm going to say.
I think
if she's distributing landscaping supplies and unloading a truck and stacking a cord and planting trees, she's doing workouts.
Yeah.
That is what I call farm strong.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is your workout today, Maitreya, should be foam rolling and stretching.
Right.
But spend some time doing something that your body needs. And it sounds like, knowing your history and how much you're working out and what you post in the group all the time, you could probably use some stretching and foam rolling anyways. So take some time off and just chill out. Don't stress over it.
Aww,
that's awesome.
That is good.
Yeah, I mean, that one video, like when I was like, when you got by 160 bags of mulch and throw it off the back of the truck, that is working out. It's not your traditional lifting weights, but it is working out.
Right. Absolutely.
I like what Gail's asking.
So Gail wants to know, how many meals are you eating a day, Mom?
Not enough.
Not enough. I struggle to eat enough food. I'm not really much of a breakfast person, although I do try to eat something in the morning. I'm at work, so if I don't remember to bring something appropriate, I'm teaching and so sometimes I only eat 2 meals.
Peggy,
I try to get 3. I try to eat more.
Peggy wants to know, how long have you been carnivore and did you slowly work yourself into it?
I did not slowly work myself into it because I'm his mother. And so
I didn't either. I just started one day.
So, when I decided I was going to give it a go, my thought was, I will try this for about 8 weeks. He always says, try it for about 8 weeks. And so I just decided I was going to do that. And that was about 2.5 years ago.
Wow. That is awesome.
That's really good. So Marie said your mom is not 1-to-1. You said you're trying to be one. You're trying to eat 1-to-1, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much if you're carnivore, you're close to that, or eating higher protein.
Yes.
KJ, right there.
Bronson? I think that's the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yep. KJ said, Bronson, can you recommend a foam roller? I've been looking at the Rolga, but haven't pulled the trigger. Miriam sent me the link and I forgot to put it on our page.
Okay.
Chris, Chris has the one that you recommend.
Okay, the orange one. There's a pretty good foam roller. I mean, you can get some basic ones. They're not, just Google, go to Amazon and type foam roller. They don't have to be anything special.
Walmart sells them. Listen, we're not professional athletes.
Speak for yourself, sir.
We didn't need to get a Rogue. We bought a flat bench. And I'm looking at everything you see is the Rogue flat bench, $250. I'm like, no. Ran to Walmart, $29 for a flat bench. It is accomplishing exactly what I needed. So you don't need to go buy a $200 foam roller. Run to Walmart. They have some over in the workout section. So, okay, bingo. Here's a good question. Wants to know, do you weigh everything cooked?
No.
So for me, I tell you, I don't weigh it cooked at all. I always weigh pre-cooked. Now, sometimes I will weigh, if I make 2 pounds of ground beef, I will weigh it out afterwards so that we have equal amounts.
Because I will fight him if we don't.
My thing is, if you're going to weigh it pre-cooked, if you're going to weigh cooked, for example, maybe you cooked ahead of time a whole bunch of ground beef or something like that, just be consistent. Don't on one of the things put that you used it cooked and one of them not cooked. Be consistent, but I think it's best to weigh it out raw. The one thing I will tell you is that you're not going to, the protein doesn't change when you cook it. What protein changes is the overall weight because you're losing water and stuff.
Yeah. You won't be sad that you overstated.
Right.
I hate stult. I hate mulch. Let's see. I don't have it. Miriam has it. Is she still around? I don't know. Blue Dove said, "Do B and C Bronson and Mom take supplements, electrolytes?"
We probably don't take the same things because I'm an old lady and he's a younger guy, so we don't take the same things.
I've never called a younger guy.
Well, yeah.
Whippersnapper.
Anyway, I do take some supplements, and some of them he has recommended, because I don't like organ meats. I don't like beef liver and that sort of thing. So I do take liver like tablets, so that I can kind of take care of that. One of the things I do take is calcium because of my bones. And I will say this, I'll just do a little plug for these people. Algae-Cal is awesome. It is made from algae, and so it is absorbed into your bones better. And I think that has significantly helped with my osteoporosis situation. So I take that. They have a whole packet of bone builder or whatever that includes calcium and strontium. Don't flip out over strontium. People get worried about that. You don't need to with what they are offering. I also take some magnesium. I take some fish oil. Yeah, those sorts of things.
That's awesome.
And what do you take, Bronson?
I'm pretty much the same. I mean, we both do electrolytes. I like I like the element electrolytes. Is it element? Element.
Yeah, I've never tried those.
I like those a lot. And as far as supplements go, I think it's pretty much the same. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, fish oil,
Yeah, vitamin D,
beef liver capsules, basics.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Chris put in the chat that foam roller, the Trigger Point Grid foam roller with an online instructional video.
Yeah, and that's
one comment says, "Wait, Bronson's not an old lady."
That's Chris, of course.
Is that this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's the one that you had recommended for the January restart.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it.
So cool. Something just happened to your face there. You like all pixelated. I don't know what happened there.
He looks like a beautiful
I moved
piece.
too fast. I moved too fast.
Oh, is that what it is? So, okay. Well, I think that that's the end of the questions.
So here's the thing, and we talked a little bit about this on Keto on the Couch, and that is we've got our workout equipment, the little bit that we've gotten, it is now no longer pristine. It's being used.
Right.
And we got our cute workout outfit, and now I put it through the wash several times. And now like the newness of doing this has worn off, and now I've got to just keep doing this. Like, what encouragement can you give us, Bronson, for just keep doing it, even though like we're in the middle of the month?
Right. We're only halfway through.
Yeah. Read all the success stories in the family group before you get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Remind yourself what you're doing and why it's important. If you can't, there's so many different tactics and techniques you can use to remember your why and remember what is important and why you're doing it. Get a picture of something, take a picture of a goal, take a picture of someone, that's got muscles that you want to have muscles like, or write down a number that represents a weight you want to lift, or there's so many different things that you can do. In sales and stuff, they call it your dream board, right? Come up with something that, reminds you visually that you can look at every day. Talk to a friend. I love the Zoom stories of people working out on Zoom with friends. Things like that. So find someone to hold you accountable. Remember why you're doing it. And just remember that it's really for fun. You're doing this so you can have more fun.
So Heath said Kim Howerton has a link for the on her Facebook group for the LMNT sample pack for $5. So again, we have not tried. We need to order some because I want to update our electrolyte video. We personally like the Keto Chow electrolyte drops if you want something completely flavorless, and then we also like the Redmond Relight. I like the ingredients in there. A lot of times I do what Miriam does. I take the Redmond Relight and then I squirt Keto Chow drops into it to give myself even more electrolytes.
Right.
So, but again, I'm a salt person. So, I mean, the longer you do this, the more you like salt, the more you're craving salt. And so I happen to like that, but it's, I don't want to overdo drinking too many of the Redmonds. So I kind of do both. So they're both awesome. I know the LMNT has really good ingredients. We just have not tried it. So,
Lisa.
And Lisa, you can go over protein all day long. Have a blast.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a couple more before we get off. Danielle wants to know, has your bone density improved since you started strength training, Miss Claire?
Yes, I went from osteoporosis to normal.
That's incredible. That is so awesome. So
Well,
so
here we go.
I think that that'll wrap up this week. So we have next week. We'll end. I didn't even realize this is actually a 5-week month. Did you know that, Bronson? So we said we were
Well,
going to do this for 4 weeks.
Didn't we start technically like the week before?
Well, we started on the
Yeah.
30th. Our first live stream was on the 30th, right?
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
what is it? The 31st.
Something
So, but it is technically, so we have next week and then we have the week after. So we'll end on the last one on the 28th. So we'll be live streaming from New York.
I'm so excited.
Let's hope we have internet.
We will. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
My mom says the internet's not that great up there, so we'll do our best.
So
Yeah, well-
for people who may not be in the Facebook family group, but they want to find out more about you, Bronson, where can they go to find you as far as like for a coaching?
Yeah. So if they're not on Facebook, then my website, theapextrainingsystem.com, or my YouTube channel, the Apex Training System. If they are on Facebook, I have a private, not even private. I guess it is private. You have to be invited or get accepted. So I have a group on Facebook that is the Apex Training System, or no, sorry, Apex Health and Fitness. If you look for it. And I do stuff in there. I try to do something in there every day. That's it's kind of like your guys' group, but it's more specifically fitness focused.
Yes, which is stinking
And
awesome.
then also if you do want to get even more intensity in workouts, if you want like a lot more of that one-on-one after this month is over, Bronson does have a like monthly group where, I don't know, how much is that, Bronson?
$40 a month.
$40 a month, where every day it's basically you're getting like wads of the day for CrossFit. Like he's giving you a whole set of workouts that you're going to do 5 days a week, but you're also are in a special group. He's doing live streams. You have Bronson on speed dial. So it's something you might want to look into after the month is over. Those are the workouts that I do a lot, and I love
She's
them.
doing too. Those are the ones that she does.
Yeah.
Those are what she does.
Well, and it's an investment in your future.
Yeah.
Like what is the hope that you have for the future? Not just right now, but like what do you want to be doing in 10 years?
Mhm.
You know, because that's something I've had a lot of those discussions with my mom, who's now retired. And she has said herself, like, I want to stay strong and I want to continue building up my strength, because here I'm retired and this is the time that I want to enjoy all of these activities that I couldn't do because I was working the whole time.
Right.
And I don't want to lose mobility. What is your hope for the future for yourself, Miss Claire, because of the investment that you're placing every day in exercising?
Oddly, I have actually talked to Bronson about getting CrossFit level 1 trained so that I can teach other people how to do workouts and help encourage them from a coaching perspective. So I've actually thought about
Wow.
Like, come on, you don't want to stay in Maryland. Come on down here to South Florida. Nobody from South Florida other than her is from here anyway.
Wow, that
awesome.
is amazing. That is amazing.
That's awesome.
It's something funny that happens when you start to feel better. You just don't want to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You just want to share it.
That's why we started this channel.
You want other people to know how good you feel, and you want them to feel good too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Let's finish on one more before we get off, because I like this one. It says, she wants to know, Peggy wants to know, do you feel like you have more energy being on Carnivore?
It's hard to remember when I wasn't. So I can tell you I feel better. My gut feels better. My body just overall feels better, and that makes me more motivated to do things because I'm not having to overcome the fact that I don't feel quite right.
Right.
Yeah. I see
So
somebody's
somebody's asking for your YouTube channel. So I'm just going to reshare that video again.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can just go back over to that spot. So this was a video that if you joined us late that I was referencing early, where Bronson is talking about what alcohol does. You know, if you when you drink alcohol, and again, he's not saying don't ever do it. What he's telling you is this this is what happens when you do drink it. But if you go on there, you can find his YouTube channel.
Well, just in case mom is still on the fence about this, I think you should put up Joy's comment right there, which says that if Miss Claire does do it, she's signing her mom up because she's 75 and recovering from a broken femur. And there is something special about being able to work out with somebody in your own age range. That was why once Joe realized that Bronson was, near his age, it was like,
it shamed me.
No, well, I don't think it was that. I think it was like you saw possibilities.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm joking that it shamed me, but it did. It made me real. Okay, well, hey,
you're running out. You run out of excuses, right? Because you look at somebody that trains all the time, and you're like, well, they're 20 years old, and they don't, know what I'm going through and what I'm feeling.
Well, no kidding. When we met Bronson in where were we now? Omaha, and I seriously thought he was in his 30s.
Yes.
And I remember we were in Dr. Fit Fabulous's house, and I remember sitting here going, this guy has no idea what it's like to be in life. Like, he has no idea. He's a kid.
Little did you know that I was a grandfather.
We were sitting in the house talking.
A cute little baby
and I was like, he just doesn't know yet. He doesn't know what it's like because I didn't know. Like, so
little did you know that I was a grandfather at the time.
Not a clue.
No.
So this is a great grandmother, and she's going to be a CrossFit trainer, possibly. That is amazing.
That's amazing. Well, that's going to be the end of this week's live stream. Make sure you guys join us next week.
Thank you so much for being here.
And don't forget, tomorrow is our regular live stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, where we just talk about nonsense, but bring any questions. We'll talk about keto questions. We'll talk about just whatever topic comes up. We're really excited about everything that's going on. We're also almost at 20,000 subscribers. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us, and everybody who's watching, thank you so much for joining us. Keep up the good work. We're so proud of you.
Super proud of you.
Keep putting your stories up in the Facebook group. If you have any questions, Bronson's in there all the time, answering questions, posting videos.
Don't miss this opportunity.
So, have a good night, guys.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.